We have seen this Lorentz force on a piece of a rod or current carrying conductor. If this is a straight rod, this is simply F is equal to I L cross B. If it has some arbitrary shape, then force is equal to simply F summation over J I dlj cross B. That means if this is the arbitrary shape, so we take smaller pieces, that smaller piece is dl, and since there are j number of pieces, so summation over j, and we take these small straight pieces and sum of all the forces. I in all the conductor is same, and this magnetic field, again this is external magnetic field, this is the B is the external magnetic field, not the field produced by the current carrying rod. So this both these things are same. So now let us understand, or let us read something about permittivity and permeability. This is also important. So we have seen the law of gravitation, and in the gravitation law we know this F is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. So where m1 and m2 are masses of the particle, r is the distance between them, and G is the universal gravitational constant. Now similarly in electrostatics we saw Coulomb's law. So this is F is equal to K q1 q2 upon r square, where K is also a constant of proportionality. We saw that K is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So this epsilon naught only when we are in vacuum. We are in vacuum. This epsilon naught is called permittivity of the vacuum. This is called permittivity of the vacuum. If instead of vacuum we are in a medium, this will change by epsilon. This will change by epsilon, where epsilon is the permittivity of the medium or the material. This is the change, where epsilon is the permittivity of the medium or the material. Medium or material is the same thing. Similarly in magnetism we get another constant, that another constant is mu upon 4 pi. Another constant in this magnetism is mu upon 4 pi, and this mu is called permeability of the medium. This epsilon is permittivity and this mu is permeability of the medium. So that medium that is filled, that must have a permeability, that is mu. So this is in magnetic field, this is in electric field. So all three G, epsilon and mu are proportionality constant, but there is a difference. What is the difference? This gravitational force does not depend on the intervening medium. So this is a universal constant, this does not change. Suppose if there are two particles, one particle is there and another particle is there, and the medium between them is either vacuum or air or water, so the gravitational constant will not change. The gravitational constant will not change by the medium, that is called intervening medium, that means medium between them. But if there is some electrostatic force or magnetic force, electrostatic force or magnetostatic force, that means this epsilon and mu will change by the medium. For vacuum this is epsilon naught and mu naught, for other materials it will change. So this depends on medium. The electromagnetic force depends on the medium between the two charges or magnets. So there is a difference between gravitational law of force and electromagnetic force, that is, this is a universal constant, but these are dependent on the material. Hence while G is a universal constant, epsilon and mu depend on the medium. Another important formula is that, see here there is another important formula. The product epsilon mu turns out to be related to the speed of electromagnetic radiation in the medium. So this is very important formula. Sometimes it is given in the question paper that calculate the velocity of the radiation in this medium. So we have this epsilon mu is equal to 1 over v square. So from this v is equal to under root 1 by epsilon mu. So in case of vacuum, what we will have, v in vacuum will be equal to 1 upon epsilon naught mu naught. Okay, so this is in case of vacuum. In vacuum, this quantity is equal to velocity of light. So because in vacuum any electromagnetic radiation will travel at the speed of light. So in vacuum this will be equal to the speed of light. But if there is a medium, let us say water, so by using this relation we can calculate the velocity of the electromagnetic radiation in that medium. So read more about this, read it completely, this will be helpful. Now let us see this example 4.1. So what is this example 4.1? A straight wire of mass 200 grams. So what is the mass? 200 gram, and length is 1.5 meter, that is carrying a current 2 ampere. So current is 2 ampere, length is 1.5 meter, mass is 200 gram. It is suspended in mid-air by uniform horizontal magnetic field B. So magnetic field is B. What is the magnitude of magnetic field? So again there is a hint in question that mass is given, that means force, length L is given, current I is given, and it is in the air, it is suspended in the air with some magnetic field B. What is the magnitude of that magnetic field? So definitely what will happen, suppose if this wire is in mid-air, so its weight will try to pull it down, but because of this magnetic field this lives in the air, this will live in the air. So we have to calculate this magnetic field, that how much magnetic field is needed to lift this thing up or make this thing up in the air while current flowing in it is I. So we know that there is an upward force F of the magnitude ILB for the mid-air suspension. So we know that there must be some force because its weight must pull it down, but there is a force that is lifting it up, and for mid-air this must be balanced by the force due to gravity. These two forces must be balanced. So previously what we saw, the force was I L cross B, but here this I is the current, L is in this direction, and magnetic field is in horizontal direction. So both these are perpendicular. So this L cross B, that means sine 90 degree is equal to 1. So F is simply equal to BIL. Okay, F is equal to simply BIL. So mg is equal to ILB or BIL. So B is equal to mg upon IL. So this is the case. So what we have done, we have put both the forces, force due to gravity that is pulling it down and force due to magnetism field which is lifting it up. Both the fields are equal, both the fields or both the forces are equal, only then this will remain in the air. So putting the value, mass is 200 gram, that means 0.2 kilogram, G is 9.8, I is 2 ampere, length is 1.5 meter. So what is the magnetic field? 0.65 Tesla. So if we have a wire in which 1.5 ampere current is flowing and its mass is 200 gram, so we can lift this thing up, 2 ampere current is flowing, current is 2 ampere and length is 1.5 meter, we can lift it up in the air with a magnetic field of 0.65 Tesla. note that it would have been sufficient to specify m by l. So what they are trying to say, so if we have a uniform wire, so instead of saying that mass and length, what we can say mass per unit length, that can also be given. So what would happen, this mass per unit length into g by I. So if the mass per unit length was also given, mass per unit length of wire, that in that case we can also calculate this magnetic field. The Earth's magnetic field is approximately 4 into 10 to power minus 5 Tesla that we have seen. This is very low. So definitely this magnetic field is very high in comparison to that. That's why we ignored Earth's magnetic field.